Hi guys! Welcome to my class. Please subscribe so that you will be notified on the next math lesson. Then like and share so that you can also help other students. Our topic for today is about roots. You are going to learn it here the easy way. But before we proceed to our main lesson, I would like to ask you one question. Can you protect yourself from viruses? Yes, we can. Just remember, when nothing is sure, everything is possible. Let us discuss how to protect ourselves from viruses later. Let us move first to the main objective of our lesson. We are going to learn today how to find the square roots of perfect squares and solve equations with square and cube roots. I want you to take note of this, guys. Square root is a value that when multiplied by itself gives the number. For example, square root of 9, which will give us 3. 3 squared is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay? Perfect square are the squares of the whole numbers. For example, 1 squared is equal to 1. 2 squared is equal to 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. 8 squared is 64. 9 squared is 81. 10 squared is 100. And there will be a lot more square that you can encounter here. Radical sign is the sign of the square root. This indicates square root. Okay, remember this. Cube root is the factor that we multiply by itself 3 times so that we can get that number. For example, cube root of 64 is equal to 4. That means 4 cube is equal to 64. 4 times 4 is 16. Times 4 is 64. You're going to multiply the 4 3 times. While perfect cube is a number that is the cube of an integer. For example, 125 is the perfect cube of 5. Because whenever you are going to multiply 5 3 times, the answer is 125. 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 is 125. So it is 5 raised to the power of 3 or 5 cubed. Let us work on this example so that you will be guided. Find the square root of 81. We are going to apply the radical sign of the square root. Accordingly, you can see square root of 81, which will give us 9. It is easy. Let us try this example. Find the square root of 144. Applying the radical sign, this means that square root of 144 will give us 12. What if we have a positive and a negative sign outside the square root? We're going to find the square root of 1.69. I want you to take note that if we have a positive and a negative sign outside the square root, we're going to have a positive and a negative sign also on the answer. For example, positive and negative square root of 1.69 will give us positive and negative 1.3. In the event that we are going to apply the positive sign, I want you to look at this. Positive 1.3 times positive 1.3 will give us positive 1.69. Likewise, if we are going to apply the negative sign, I want you to notice this. Look. Negative 1.3 times negative 1.3 will give us positive 1.69. Do you get it? Let us work on this example so that you can practice more. Find the positive and negative square root of 1.44. Square root of 1.44 is 1.2. But we need to write the positive and negative sign before our answer. So, it will be positive and negative 1.2. What if we have a division on the square root? Let us work on this example. Find the square root of 36 over 81. Working on the numerator, square root of 36 will give us 6. And working on the denominator, square root of 81 will give us 9. Therefore, square root of 36 over 81 will give us 6 over 9. What if we have a negative sign outside the square root? Let's find out what is the answer for the negative square root of 25 over 64. If we have a negative sign outside the square root, don't forget the negative sign on the answer. Let's work first on the numerator. Square root of 25 will give us 5. I wrote straight away the negative on the answer. And square root of 64 will give us 8. Accordingly, negative square root of 25 over 64 is equal to negative 5 over 8. What if we have a negative number inside the square root? Let us work on this. Find the square root of negative 100. Please take note, guys. There is no real square root because no number times itself is equal to negative 100. Let us work on this example so that you can hit it off. Solve x squared is equal to 225. Writing the equation below so that we can work on it. X squared is equal to 225. This will give us x is equal to positive and negative square root of 225. Accordingly, it will give us plus and minus 15. Let us work on this example so that you will be guided. Find the cube root of 216. The answer is 6. If we are going to multiply 6 3 times, it will give us 216. What if we have a cube root of negative number? Let us work on this example. Find the cube root of negative 216. Our answer will be negative 6. Let us multiply negative 6 3 times. Negative 6 times negative 6 will give us positive 36 times negative 6 will give us negative 216. Do you get it? Let us work on this example so that you can fully understand the lesson. Solve y cubed is equal to 64. Rewriting the equation below so that we can start working on it. We can cancel out the exponent of y, which will give us the cube root of 64. Accordingly, our answer is 4. Y is equal to 4. If we are going to multiply 4 3 times, it will give us 64. To wrap it up, I want you to take note of this. Square root is the value that when multiplied by itself gives the number. Square root of 9 is equal to 3. And 3 squared is equal to 9. Okay? Don't forget that so that you can find out the answer right away. Perfect squares are the squares of the whole numbers. Okay? Cube root is the factor that we multiply by itself 3 times so that we can get the number. For example, cube root of 64 is 4. And perfect cube is a number that is the cube of an integer. You're going to multiply the number 3 times so that you can get the perfect cube. And I want you to remember that there will be no negative number inside the radical sign. There will be no real square root because no number times itself is equal to a negative number. Okay? In solving an equation like x squared is equal to 225, you're going to have a negative and a positive answer. Like this example, x squared is equal to 225. Accordingly, x is equal to plus and minus 15. Remember that. Let us move back to the discussion regarding protecting ourselves from viruses. Let us discuss the basic healthy habits to help reduce the risk of infections. Germs spread when people touch their eyes, nose, and mouth. We need to wash our hands always and avoid touching our eyes, nose, and mouth. Do not share food, drinks, silverware, pen, pencil, books, and other personal belongings with others. We need to use tissues to cover the mouth when coughing or sneezing. Always throw away tissues in a trash can. We need to use clean, dry, paper towels and tissues. And do not handle tissues or paper towels used by other children. Always stay 2 meters away from your friends. Do not move near anybody. Then, always wear your face mask and sanitize your hands all the time. In this way, you can protect yourself and others. Remember, when nothing is sure, everything is possible. I will never stop reminding you what Sheikh Zayed wrote for us. Education is like a lantern which lights your way in a dark alley. We need to give importance to our education so that we're not going to be blindfolded in our future. In case you have confusion on some part of the lesson, I want you to go back. Revise it again, watch it carefully, slowly, and I know you can get it. Life is a math equation. You cannot get the most of it if you cannot convert the negatives into positive. I took some health information regarding the basic steps in protecting ourselves from viruses in my health.alberta.ca network. I want you to score high in math, then be wise and healthy. Okay? Till next math lesson. Bye-bye!